have the drive to be a trapper. They question my skill and my motive. They call me a Hollywood trapper. I give it my all to this game called trapping so that she can experience the challenge.
Well, it's getting late. Sun's going down, baby. Smell that? Just screams coon. The brush pile set came about.
We as trappers push ourselves to the limits.
This is my first Mississippi cat. I hate it. There's a gray fox down here. I caught this pretty little red right here. We call it that is a monster. These are so big, we got drag them like deer. Peyton second beaver.
This is what you experience if you go on a trapper trip.
Brand new Duke trap. Got the FB1. I see the tail. Beautiful. Brand new. It's got a muddy mess happening. We got one. Right exactly what I'm talking about. Right here in this dip. 1 second.
Robby, Gilbert, King, poor man's done. He's letting us see that possible.
I got something up here. Aha! 175 is definitely doing her job.
Do you have what it takes to play the game?
Three.
Follow me on my journey. This is my story. This is my time. This is Trapping Time. Trapping Time is brought to you by Dakota Line Snares at dakotalinesnares.com. Hilltop Outdoor Supply at hilltopoutdoorsupply.com. Duke Trap Company at duketraps.com. Southern Snares and Supply at southernsnares.com. Old South Lures at oldsouthlures.com. Webster's Predator Control at shopwebsterspredatorcontrol.com. F&T Trading Post at fntpost.com. Big Game Gut Glove at biggamegutglove.com. Night Owl Lures at nightowllures.com. Wolf Creek Products at wolfcreekproducts.net. J3 Outdoors at j30.com. American Coon Cap at americancooncap.com. Smokey's Deer Lure at smokeysdeerlure.com. Funk Trap Tags at funktraptags.com.
Hello folks, and welcome to this week's show. You know, it is no secret that I love to trap coyotes. But you know, it always wasn't that way. It took a long time for me to get the knack where I'm successful across the country. But every so often I get to come back home and trap where it all began. This week, I'm going to take you on some of my favorite locations in Pennsylvania and show you where it all began.
Well, this has been somewhat of a productive day. This little place here has caught me more coyotes and more cats than I don't know what. It's kind of one of them places that when you're trying to put up numbers of coyotes, it's all about speed. You want to be able to get as many sets out as you possibly can, check them from the truck, and move on to the next one. But every so often, you get that one spot that is just worth walking, and this is that spot. But I got a coyote up here. Looks like a pretty good one. He's pretty active, jumping around. Now folks, this is a pretty coyote. The fur on him looks great. He's not all rubbed up. He's just got a really good color to him. In this part of the country, we don't get that really pretty pale coyote, but his fur, it looks really, really good. Now you can see he's got this place kind of tore up. We just come in here and did what I like to call a micro dirt hole. And all that is I use my driver to make my dirt hole. Very simple operation. Come in, take my digger, make my trap bed, get him out of there and get the dirt out of there, take my driver, poke a little hole, and I'm ready to move on to the next one. Really good dog, simple setup. It's there again. These traps have been out for almost a week and just now starting to hit. I caught a raccoon the other day in the other set. Looks like it might have been fooled with. It might have been this dog. He might have checked it, didn't really like it, came over and got caught with this one here. So we'll get this dog out of here, get this set remade. All right, now this coyote doesn't really have this set tore up too bad considering the weather we've had. What you want to do, you want to grab your traps. We're using the full metal jacket now. Listen to that, guys. Hear that pan? That's free falling. I like to run a free fall pan. I know a lot of guys are worried about tension. I found that I've been more successful with the free fall. I'm gonna stick with it until I start having issues. Now, when we first come up here, I see some droppings. We wanna grab a hold of them and put them somewhere that you can find them, because we're gonna use them a little bit later. That's like trapping gold right there. All right, so we've beat our trap bed back in. One thing nice about the cutter is it's easy to find that trap bed again. Put a little peat moss down in the bottom. And now it's time to cover the trap back up. Now, my driver, I'm gonna take this and just punch us a hole. Let's grab all this garbage that he's tore up. And we're just gonna put a little mound of it, not a whole lot, just a little bit, enough to make him wanna catch his attention and bring him towards that hole. That's pretty much a finished set. Now, I saved them droppings earlier. We're gonna throw them kind of haphazardly around here, just to kind of let the other coyotes know there's another dog in here, but that, hey, come check it out, there might be something in here. Now, we're gonna take a little bit of our back 40, because that's what we had in it. So it's not really. Just get that. Oh yeah, that smells good. Get that shoved down in there. A little bit of our trapping time fox lure. I'm gonna put it just a little bit. Boy, that's thick. It's a little thicker, a little bit more than I like to put, but we got a cold spell coming, so it's gonna be there for a little while. And that's a finished set.
This set location is probably one of my favorite places to catch coyotes, but it wasn't always that way. It took a lot of trial and error because I just never get that perfect location, but I finally figured it out. And if you just keep after it, places that have a lot of coyote sign and have a lot of potential, sometimes it may take you a little while to figure it out before you start putting coyotes on the stretcher. When we come back, we're going to hook up with our good friend Mark Steck from Dakota Line Snares, and he's going to show us some snaring tips on the F&T Set of the Week.
Before you make your next trapping supply purchase, be sure to check out TrappingTimeTV.com. We have an extensive line of products, and we're adding new products all the time. If you've seen it on the show, we have it. Don't forget to check out the Trapping Time line of baits and lures. You will definitely want to try out our #1 selling Back 40 Predator bait. We also are the home of the Trapping Time Trap Bed Cookie Cutter. Make TrappingTimeTV.com your last stop.
F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post, Alpena, Michigan. We have all of the equipment that you need for trapping, hunting with hounds, predator calling, and fur handling supplies. We also carry a great selection of tanned fur and fur-related products. Whether you've been trapping for a lifetime or just want to get started in the field, we have everything you need to get you pointed in the right direction. Call us today and we'll send you our full color catalog where you can get equipped for your next trip on the line. F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post, everything you need.
Well, we're going to do a little coon snaring here. That coon trail is always there, and interestingly, it goes up to a woven wire fence and then through the crotch of 2 trees there, and so it's like taking candy from a baby if you want to snare them or put a body grip trap in there. I'm going to go slow, but these are fast to put in. And for your coon, I suggest a 3/32 cable, and it's just it does less fur damage in my opinion. It's a little bigger, and in terms of refusals, that's not an issue with coon, I don't feel. This is our support and also our stake, and so ultimately this snare will be staked to this piece of rebar. It's 24 inches, and then the support wires on there, and so I call it an all-in-one stake. They work really good, very fast. So we're gonna put that in right beside the trail, and two, I should tell you that we're gonna this coon is gonna be alive. We aren't gonna kill it. If I'm fur trapping, I want the coon alive. Now I put it in further than I need to, but every once in a while I hook a coyote in a set like this. Now your loop maybe 6x6, and that's if you're fur snaring. If you're snaring because you're trying to get rid of some coons out of somebody's corn patch, go bigger. But the 6x6, that's going to allow the coon to get his head and usually one paw in there. It seems small, and you're going to miss some coon because coon are different. They're different heights and they're different sizes, and maybe they bob their head a little bit. But this is the size we're going to set this at. And then we're going to take this support collar here, and it's just it's a polyvinyl type tubing, and we're going to put it on our support wire, just like that. Just like that. Now getting that in the right position is very important. Okay, so we're about 8 inches off the ground. I really would want this 5 or 6 inches. Right in there like that. Now you can guide your coons. They're very easy to guide. What you don't want to do is give them an easier way to get around. You want to make them go through this. So I just take a little pilot hole. This is a tool I use. It's just easy to pull out. It's red so you don't lose it. And we'll put a stick there, and not that we need it really. I mean, this is just a perfect set already. But there you go, there's your coon snare. Now, what's important with this snare is that there's tension now. This 9-gauge wire, you got into position, it's hooked onto the snare. And so when this coon hits it, and let's say he's coming your way here, he hits it, there's automatically some tension there, and that's coming down. And you want it to come down fairly quickly because coon have that dexterity, and they're going to try pulling that off their neck. That's our coon set. And remember the size of that loop.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Duke Traps. Go check them out at duketraps.com.
Closed captioning for Trapping Time is brought to you by Duke Traps, America's best trap value. From the hills of West Virginia, Smokey's Deer Lures presents the first and only real pre-orbital gland lure in the world. Applying pre-orbital gland lure to a licking branch will allow you to take a complete inventory of the bucks at your favorite hunting spot. Get yours at SMOKEY'SDeerLure.com.
For some of us, trapping season never ends. It's in our blood. It defines the very person we are. Let Southern Snares and Supply be part of your trapping world. Be sure to try out our best-selling capital punishment predator bait and our new Pure Gator oil.
The Big Game Gut Glove is revolutionizing the way big game hunters and trappers are successful in the field. The 26-inch version fits over your elbows and protects you and your expensive hunting clothing from blood or cold water. They're made to fit your hands from extra small to extra large.
What I like about them, I can feel with them.
Existing products on the market don't give you the feel or protection you need. Wet or dry, the special non-slip grip bonds tightly to whatever you're handling. The Big Game Gut Gloves are reusable so you save money and promote going green.
Welcome back. Hey Mark, thanks a lot. You know, anytime you can learn snaring knowledge from a man as seasoned as Mark Steck, you want to take all that information in. Now we're going to head to a little location not too far from the Gilbert Ranch. We're going to head in the woods, and I'm going to show you how we got on this woods coyote.
Now what we got here, we got a gas line that comes up over here. We're out in the middle of the woods. I mean, a lot of you guys are always asking me, how are you guys catching these coyotes in the woods? This is the kind of stuff, it's these travel ways. This is what you got to focus on when you're trying to catch these coyotes, especially in the woods. Everybody has them in their part of the country. We have gas, everybody's got a gas line. Focus on them. Even these little ones. This one here is probably not 30, 40 feet wide, but it's big enough that it'll direct these animals through here. Tickled to death. Now, I tell you what, I've caught a lot of coyotes, but this young dog here has blew this place up. It looks like a grenade went off in here. Now, when you catch these dogs and it's muddy like this, I mean, it's just been miserable wet. You want to make sure you try and get as much of this mud off of this trap. And the reason being, we know it's going to freeze, and it's coming. I mean, you can tell right now, you can probably tell, sitting at home right now watching on television, that This wind's blowing, we got a storm coming. It is getting colder by the minute. We're gonna have to modify this a little bit because this old dog, he just plumb tore this place up. Now, if you look what I'm peeling up here, he's tore all this ground litter up and he's packed it. If you look underneath here, we're back to the virgin dirt that was originally here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna peel this top layer off. We're gonna throw it back here. This is our new backing. This is what's gonna control him with whatever set we do, whether it's a dirt hole, we do a flat set, it doesn't matter. Whatever we're gonna do here, we're gonna use what he's already got tore up, and it's actually gonna divert him in. When he comes in to work this set, it's actually gonna push him in our direction. We know our trap's totally operational. Okay, nails. Find us a place that's soft enough to get them bad boys to go down in there. The biggest thing with the nail trick is just make sure it's tight enough so that trap don't move. When them coyotes come in here, they're gonna be so interested in everything else. We want them just to be able to put their feet down and not have to worry about where they're putting it. Just have them put their feet down and get caught. Get our bag of peat moss. I wonder how many coyotes have fell victim to these traps covered by peat moss. Here's a little trick for you. I know sometimes peat moss, it's so, it stands out. If you want a little trick, we're in the woods. We can get away with this a little bit better. Take some out and sprinkle it out. Make the pattern a lot bigger. If you do that, it's one way to get around it, worrying about it. Now we know our trap's right here, so we're gonna come in here, get us a big old hole ring down. Bigger the better. Takes a little bit of rodent revenge from Old South. We're gonna use a little red fox gland lure from Night Owl. Now you hear me a lot of times say the lip of the hole. Well, we just put it on the upper lip. I consider this the lower lip. I consider that the upper lip. So if you ever ask me or on Facebook or message me, Robby, where do you put it at? If I say the lip of the hole, that's what I'm talking. And usually I'll tell you if it's upper or lower. This is a finished remake here, guys. Simple set. You guys are facing the same problems I am. You're in the woods. You gotta figure out a way to catch these coyotes in the middle of these woods. This is one way to do it. Find these travel ways. You know, not every coyote you catch is going to be out in the middle of an open field. It's nice when you got that kind of ground, but if you're like me, you got to take advantage of what you got. Like I said, we deer hunt this, so anytime we can take one out close to home, we're tickled to death. All right, that was the last check of the day. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Now I got to skin a coyote. I'll get my easy skinner out, make that job a little bit easier, but it's gonna feel good to go, take a shower, kick back, relax at some point tonight. So you wanna be a coyote trapper? That's the kind of stuff you gotta deal with. Let's go to the house.
Trapping products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
I've been a professional trapper for over 40 years, and in that time, I've skinned literally thousands of animals. I've learned that it doesn't matter how cool a knife looks on your hip. What really matters is sharpness and reliability. And that's why I created the Weeby Wicked Sharp line of replacement blade knives. These are knives that will quickly skin your critters without skinning your wallet. Visit WeebyKnives.com to get the new Monarch folding knife with 3 replacement blades for just $19.95. Weeby Knives, Wicked Sharp.
T Fur Harvesters Trading Post, Alpena, Michigan. We have all of the equipment that you need for trapping, hunting with hounds, predator calling, and fur handling supplies. We also carry a great selection of tanned fur and fur-related products. Whether you've been trapping for a lifetime or just want to get started in the field, we have everything you need to get you pointed in the right direction. Call us today and we'll send you our full color catalog where you can get equipped for your next trip on the line. F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post. Everything you need.
Welcome back. You know, one of the things about catching these coyotes in the woods, they can really tear a set up. I just imagine what some guy walking through the woods is going to think. He's going to think we're out there setting bombs off in the woods, because that thing had that place tore up like it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Now we're going to get on the side by side, and we're going to head to one of my favorite places to deer hunt, and it is just loaded with coyotes. I like to think that I've cut the numbers down over the last few years, but it's one of those spots that I know if I sit there long enough, I'm going to snag a coyote.
Well, got Jeremy Kelch with me. We're checking line. We put a big line out in the high today, so we're checking our PA stuff. This field here has always been good to me. We got a real nice dog up here. He busted that wide open, so I'm kind of excited because now I've got the location figured out on this farm. It's easy to check. We could check it from the ridge. I knew all the way on top of the hill that I had this coyote, so we'll go down here and get this remade. It's starting to get dark on us, so let's get down here and see what we got. That's a real nice young dog. We knew we had a pretty good population of dogs here, only because we're starting to see some sign, and we've got him in this 175. Now this is the first time that I've tried Full Metal Jacket, and it's offered by F&T, and they sent me a gallon of it and said try it out. I had a dozen 175s. I put it on it, and I think I'm gonna go back and hit the rest of them. I wanted to try it out in some places where I knew there was a lot of coyotes, and that is a pretty dog. All right, we're gonna get this coyote out of here, get this set remade. All right guys, now when I did this one, I made an oversized dirt hole. Problem with that is a lot of times, especially our soil we got here in Pennsylvania, you end up with a big old trough, because when these coyotes get in here and start digging, they're wanting out. So anything they can do to get themselves out of here, they're gonna work at it. And what ends up happening is they blow out the hole. We're gonna take our cookie cutter and see if we can get somewhat of a trap bed made back in here again. And we've got our bed in there. We're gonna try and find this hole, which it's right there. So we're gonna get a little creative on this set here. This isn't gonna be a typical put a dirt hole back set, because it's not here. We're gonna take our peat moss, we're gonna get this trap covered up. We're gonna take all this fluff, all this stuff here, we're gonna pull it. We're gonna kind of make us almost like a little bit of a cubby set. We wanna bring attention to this hole, almost like a mouse's nest, just something to get their attention. And we're gonna probably blend this one in a little bit. That's a very fast remake. Now, obviously, you know guys, a lot of times I'm not rebaiting. Obviously, this one needs rebaited because he blew this son of a gun out. We're gonna take a little rodent's revenge from Old South. Do a little coyote gland from Night Owl. But guys, this is a simple set. Now there's some droppings around here. We may gather them up and kind of put them in some kind of little formation around here, but definitely use your droppings, because that just shows that there's been one coyote here, and the other coyotes, they're gonna have a hard time not investigating just to see what's going on. But always good when you can take a coyote off your own hunting ground. Boom, coyote down.
This set location here had so much stuff working for it. We had an overgrown field, which used to be put up for hay, but they let it overgrow the last couple years. And with a mowed strip right down the middle, it just screamed Coyote Superhighway. Now, I wasn't on location on this field the whole time. I actually have another set up in the corner of the field, where I was catching a lot of my raccoons and skunks and possums, which I did that for a reason. I wanted to get a lot of that stuff out of there because I don't want them plugging up my coyote traps. You know, as I sat back in the editing room and we're watching back through this footage, you know, this whole experience just encompasses the whole trapping experience. You know, we had a beautiful sunset, we had a beautiful mature coyote, it was cool weather, it was just an awesome experience to be out in the wild. And that's what I try to encourage people, get out there and experience some of this stuff, because I mean, you're not going to get this kind of experience sitting back home on the couch. Join us up next week. We're headed to Mississippi, where Justin Rogers and Jason Webster, we're going to go be chasing some otters, like we always say. Until next time, we're keeping the tradition alive here at Trapping Time. Folks, be sure to check us out on Facebook at a Trapping Time. Follow our Facebook page, our Trapping Time Facebook page. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Folks, be sure to follow our Trapping Time Facebook page and check out our website, trappingtimetv.com, for all your Trapping Time apparel and trapping supplies. How's that?
Good.